Hi, I'm Christy Kiyogi, and I'm a career advisor at the UC San Diego Career Services Center. Today I'll be presenting Writing a Winning Resume. So you'll leave here with 3 things today. 1, understanding the essential components of a resume. 2, having a clear objective. And 3, having an accomplishment-based resume. So the purpose of the resume is 2 things. 1, to market yourself. You need to use this marketing tool to showcase your skills and qualifications so the employers will want to hire you for their organization. And number 2, the resume is what gets you the interview. You have to remember it's the interview stage where the decision gets made if you get hired or not. So if you don't have a strong resume, then you might not be able to get invited to the interview stage. So that's why having an outstanding and articulate resume in the beginning is really key. So these are the components of a resume. 1, your contact information. 2, an objective. 3, education. 4, skills and qualifications. And 5, the experience. Contact information. Your name is the most important piece of information on the resume, so make sure it's large enough so it stands out. Using a font size of 18 to 20 is a good size to use. Current or permanent address. Use your permanent address if you're going home for the holidays or during summer vacation. Otherwise, just use your current address here at UC San Diego. Email address. You want to make sure you use an email address that is professional. So use your ucsd.edu email address on your resume. Objective. Your objective should be specific, brief, and concise, and straight to the point. It's to convince the employer to want to read further on into your resume. And so here's an example. You want to make sure that you state what the position you're going for, what organization or area you're interested in, and the type of skills you're going to bring to the employer. So here's one to share with you. To obtain an internship in the field of finance, utilizing my communication, organizational, and computer skills. Education. Highlight your bachelor's degree or UC San Diego just so that it stands out in the education area. Relevant programs or certificates. If you studied abroad, completed Passport to Leadership, Express to Success, or got a certificate from Extension, you can place that in this area. Minor. Also list that under the education section. Relevant coursework. If the coursework is directly related to the position, place that in there so the employer knows the academic training you have in that area. You don't need to put your high school information because you're already here at UC San Diego. And with the community college information, if you got an associate's degree in that particular field, please list that here. Otherwise, if you just have transfer studies or you just transferred from a community college, no need to put that information. And with your GPA, if it's 3.0 or above, place that on there. Anything lower than that, you don't need to worry about. And whether you choose your major GPA or your cumulative, if your major GPA is significantly higher, then place the major GPA. However, if it's very similar, then just go ahead and choose your cumulative GPA. Skills and qualifications. This is the marketing section of your resume because this is where employers will see all the skill set and the talent you bring to the organization. So there's 2 areas. 1 is the specialized skills. So things such as lab skills, equipment, computer software applications, you can list that in that area. And the second section is general skills. So anything that's transferable from one setting to another, such as communication, interpersonal skills, or even teamwork. Experiences. These are the things that you should have on your resume. Full-time job, part-time experiences, whether it's paid or volunteer, internships, relevant research or projects, leadership, and campus and community involvement. Writing your experiences. So consider all the experiences that you've had and remember all those things I mentioned earlier that employers like to see. So this is how you write out your experiences. First, put your job title and make it in bold so that it stands out. Put the name of the employer, the city, and the state, and the time frame that you worked there. And then the next thing is make sure you start your tasks and duties with action verbs. We have a list of action verbs in our Wisdom Communications Career Handbook and also on our website. So start with the words that are very proactive, such as created or initiated, so it shows employers your accomplishments. Third thing is think about all the relevant functions and accomplishments that you have. Think of all the tasks and duties you've done in that position, and think about the results that happen because you were involved in that organization. The next thing is make sure you use bullets and not paragraphs. It gets really hard to read long paragraphs, so putting things in bullets makes it easier on the eyes to read. And the last thing is don't use personal pronouns. Don't start your task with I or me, so just get straight to the point and start with action verbs. Here's an example of an experience, and here's for a student leadership position. Notice that the title is in bold so that it stands out amongst the rest of the information. And here's the name of the organization, UCSD, and the length of the officer role. Notice things are in bullets and start with action verbs. And look at the amount of detail included. It has the frequency of meetings, the number of attendees, and the amount of events coordinated. So this type of detail are things that employers like to see because it shows you how complex your job was. And here are other categories to consider if you want to put on your resume, which are optional. You can put your publications, things that you've written, community service, honors, relevant memberships, especially those directly related to the position, and you can state some of your interests. Now that we've gone through this presentation, you should have 3 things that you've taken away from this session. 1, you should have knowledge of essential components of a resume. 2, you should have a clear objective so that employers will want to read further on to your resume. And 3, a resume that is accomplishment-based and result-oriented so that employers know exactly the talent you bring to the organization. So this concludes our presentation on writing a winning resume. I hope to see you at the Career Services Center so I can critique your resume and prepare you for your interview. So if you have any questions about today's presentation, you can visit our website at career.ucsd.edu. I hope to see you again.